It worked. The countdown worked.
Oh, it's still playing somewhere in my background. There we go.
Yeah, it's still yeah. It
That was on
worked.
me. I had nothing playing at all. Like I was on the YouTube channel, but it wasn't. Yeah, that was so weird that it was like still playing the countdown and like the music and whatever. Go YouTube, love it so much. Welcome to the Bitching Dead. We're your hosts tonight, just Farid and Tara. We're a webcast from the minds at the geeky area, and we're here to bitch about stuff and things because somebody has to do it. If you haven't seen episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6 of The Walking Dead season 11, please turn back now. We are not responsible for any spoilers you hear. We did warn you.
If you're listening to this as a podcast, please remember this is recorded live, so we aren't exactly sure what's going to happen. Please forgive us for any technical difficulties or accidental or intentional swears. You can join the conversation by using hashtag #TheBitchingDead.
And I would like to remind all of you that the views expressed on this webcast are those of the hosts as individuals and do not necessarily represent the geeky area or the webcast itself as a whole. Which is even funnier because tonight it's just you and I. So it's like there's even fewer people to worry about because I literally know 2 other people in the world who still watch these shows. So
Yeah, I mean, we have like what, 15 or 14 people working at the Geekery, and like it's only us 3 who watch The Walking Dead.
yeah.
People jumped ship. People stopped watching a long time ago.
I think I have more than 2 friends who still watch it, but it's definitely not that many. So, oof.
As evident from the ratings.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are the ratings now? Because
Okay, so ratings right now are basically, as I mentioned in the previous podcast, like basically like 50 to 60% of people stopped watching. Like the people who even watched season number 10, they aren't returning for season number 11. And with each episode, the ratings have continued to fall. However, there is some sort of stability because episode number, we have the number, episode number 5, it ended up giving us 1,090,000 live viewers. So I think that the show will be going on a mid-season break after episode number 8, if I'm not wrong.
yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, I honestly haven't looked it up, but that's what they usually do. Oh,
Yeah,
although if it depends if they're having a longer season to close it out. I guess, yeah, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, so it will be very interesting to see if people return after the mid-season finale.
Yeah,
if they
because
even care to return.
I think it's going to depend on how they close out the first half of the season. Because there's definitely been times before when people got pissed about things like partway through and just, I know so many people who dropped it, whatever season it was where they faked Glenn's death. 6,
Yeah,
or 5. Oh my God, it was so long ago.
So long ago, yeah.
I'm looking it up now because that's like
in the next season finale. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking up how many episodes to see if they have there's any information on how many they plan on having. Because they also started the season so much earlier. Yeah, I don't know. Right now there's only 8 episodes listed.
So I guess that would be the season finale, the mid-season finale, right?
Yeah, I guess. Like so early too. I assumed they were starting earlier because they were going to have a longer season, which of course season 10 was like insanely long, but that was mostly because of COVID. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But for right now, it looks like they're only planning on 8 episodes for the first half. So unless they just
let's see what happens to the ratings.
I honestly didn't know that they were starting as early as they did until you reminded me like a few weeks before it happened. So
also, any news about the spin-offs or movies? I couldn't find anything.
No, I haven't heard.
Are they even happening?
That was one of the things that I was talking about with Dean now that he's actually caught up and is watching it with me again. Was that like I almost wonder if at the very end of season 11 we're going to get like a surprise Rick sighting so that they can like lead into the movies. But I mean, to be honest, that's so long from now, with a mid-season
Mhm.
break, even assuming they probably won't come back until February, but even if they come back earlier in January, we're still talking next, like early next spring, maybe late winter before the season ends. And I feel like if we don't have any news about the Rick Grimes movies, by February, then probably we're not going to get anything like that. But that's kind of that's been something I've been wondering. Are we going to get, especially with everything going on in the Commonwealth, which we'll talk about in this episode, are we going to get a Rick Grimes sighting, at the very end of the final season? So
Do people still care? Do people still care about Rick Grimes?
I don't know if I do. Like, it's mostly just
I Yeah.
especially having rewatched not all of the episodes from seasons. I think it was like, I want to say it was season 8 that Dean stopped watching. And so I watched probably half of the episodes from seasons like 8, 9, and 10 with him. Because he was watching it without me because I didn't really care that much. But like I rewatched enough of them. And one of the episodes I did see was the one that ends with Jadis, going off in the helicopter with Rick. And I was like, huh. I hadn't forgotten that this happened, obviously, because we keep talking about whether or not the Rick Grimes movies are going to happen. But like, also, it's kind of, I don't know, like seeing it again. It's like if that's just some shit that never pays off. Wow, wow, just wow, fucking good.
But yeah, so again, we have no new news about the Rick Grimes movies or any of the other spin-offs. No development, no nothing. So yeah,
Yeah, so
episode number
weird.
3. Episode number 3, Hunted. Favorite moments. Now, I get that a whole lot of people don't actually like the kids, but for some reason, I liked seeing Herschel being friendly with Judith and Grace and the rest of the kids because from the comics, adult Herschel is a jerk. So
Mm.
I was like, maybe they're going to make kid Herschel a jerk as well. But no, he's friendly. So I liked him bonding with Judith, AJ, and Gracie. I like that. And also the hashtag. Was it Alden not dead or Alden hashtag
I
still alive? What was
I
it?
don't know. I don't remember. I'm like, I should have. I didn't have time because when I saw our notes for this episode, I was like, I really should go back and look, but I didn't have time to go back and look through like I don't know. I would have had to skim our last
I think it
episode
was.
or
I
like
think it was hashtag not dead. I guess. Yeah, hashtag not dead.
yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean that's kind
He's
of
close to. He's close to dying though,
yeah
but he's
now,
still not
but
dead.
not yet.
Not yet.
But yeah, like
And the
either
and the fact
whether it's hashtag Alden still alive or hashtag Alden not dead,
not dead.
or not dead yet or whatever, like either way, hooray, he's both still alive and also not
Not
dead.
dead. Yes.
um,
Also, I completely forgot that Alden was raising a child. I
so did I.
completely forgot. And he's raising a child with Kelly. Like, how? How could I forget that?
It's such a weird. This is some weird like that's a weird choice of like these are the two people that are gonna raise this kid, like especially since Kelly is still kind of new to the group and everything. But
And
like I
also, Kelly has
also
issues trying to find her sister. So why is she raising a kid? Like, she's completely distracted.
yeah, yeah. And like so I also forgot he was raising a kid. And like this combined with the fact that I forgot that he was still alive, as did Becca, makes me wonder if this is a case of Mandela effect. Does Alden even exist in the Walking Dead universe? 10 years, 20 years from now, we're going to find out that Alden with the good hair was a character that we on the Bitching Dead made up. Oh my gosh, and he's going to be added to that list with what was that movie Shazam with the Shazam movie with oh my gosh, the 90s actor whatever. That should the Shazam movie and the spelling of Bernstein Bears that Alden with the good hair is going to be on that list.
Oh, Alden, I really forgot that he was raising a kid. But now that I have remembered, I think back then I wanted it to be that Alden ended up hooking up with Aaron, and they
Mm.
both were raising a new kid. That would have made more sense
Okay,
instead of
yeah,
giving a
yeah.
kid to Kelly and Alden. Like they aren't even a couple.
Which is fine, listen, like co-parenting between people who aren't in a relationship is a thing, but uh
But where's the
co-parenting
kid?
between a girl who is struggling with the loss of her sister and
Mm-hmm.
who is also going deaf, and Alden who just lost, his girlfriend like in this horrible manner. I just feel like these are the like listen, there's not that many good choices, but this is not great. This is not a great choice. Like, and I guess Alden ended up with the baby Adam, right? It's Adam, the whisperer baby. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
the
that's who it
Whisper
is.
Baby. Yeah, the Whisper
I'm pretty
Baby.
sure Alden only
The
ended up with him
Whisperer
because
Baby.
Alden was apprenticing to the blacksmith guy, the old guy
Mm-hmm,
who was
mm-hmm.
raising Adam in the first place. So there's just, I guess that makes sense a little bit, but also I forgot he was raising a kid too. So clearly Adam, and I mean honestly Adam's not that important anyway anymore. Like really. Seriously, think about it. Like he's just a he's like a baby still. Maybe like right? He's still a baby. It hasn't
Should
been that
be.
long since the whisper thing happened. Like maybe he's sort of
Yeah.
approaching toddler age, but like he's useless. He's trouble because he's a baby, a screaming baby. And
No, it's a
you know,
Whisperer Baby, Tara. They don't scream.
oh right,
Remember?
except for this one because he was screaming and that's why he almost died and ended up with them in the first place. Um but yeah, I don't
Who's
know.
taking care? Like while I was watching these episodes, I was like, who's taking care of Adam? Kelly's out searching for Connie. Alden is nowhere to be found. Who is taking care of Adam?
he's just community baby now.
Community.
They pass him
Here, here, it's your turn to handle the community
exactly,
baby.
exactly. Here,
You
have
know
fun with
how
community
in some
baby.
how in some schools kids end up taking the classroom pet home for the weekend and everyone takes
Yeah,
turns to take care of
yes.
the pet, the hamster.
Oh, we had rats in my fourth grade class. That was really cool. They were good. They were a good class
Community
of
rat.
people.
Yeah.
Oh, community baby. We're sorry for
Community
you.
baby. Hashtag community baby.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Uh,
Least favorite
yeah.
moment.
Um, I didn't the children and not like the children as a whole. Like I liked the little bits with like Herschel and Maggie and AJ and Gracie, but hopefully I'm not misconstruing this with the other episode that the kids were a little bit prevalent in. This was the one where there was like a walker poking through the fence and the kids were playing with it and then they were mean to Judith. Was that?
No, that was episode number 4.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
Well then
Or
I
episode. Let me see.
it might have been
Episode number
5.
5. That was episode number 5. Yeah. In this episode, basically they ended up eating horse, and Herschel was like,
Yeah.
"Have you guys never tried this before? You should eat it quickly. Don't let it linger in your mouth."
Which I mean, okay, like I've never eaten horse, but it's like a delicacy in some places. Now, granted, this is like horse
Right.
jerky, but I don't know. So I guess well, and then I guess my other gripe and WTF moment, which was like, how dare they remind us of buttons, is just my least favorite moment
Oh.
because I guess I I apologize. Like I actually went back and read some recaps of these today because I watched because of like the AMC early release thing. I
Mm.
watched this episode like I want to say right after, like maybe a day or two after we watched Archeron, whatever it was. So
Ultron.
that was just a couple weeks ago, and that was several weeks ago. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I even reading the recaps there, I was like, oh, there was kid stuff in this. That must have been the kid stuff I hate. But no, apparently not. So I guess I just hated that Buttons was brought up again.
Also, my other gripes and WTF moments would be Rosita seeing Abraham in her dreams and telling Carol that Abraham wants to tell her something important, but she wakes up, and I'm like, are they foreshadowing Rosita's death or something? That she's
Yeah,
going to do something important and then she'll die
yeah.
in order to
And
save others.
your question, like, is she going to do something important? Maybe stop waxing or threading and filling in her eyebrows finally. I don't know why. Like, it's something that people used to talk about a lot, and I never really thought much about it. But in the recent episodes, like, her eyebrows are so prominently like filled in perfectly that I'm just like, who is doing this? And the Apocalypse, like, I can barely be bothered to pluck my eyebrows, in normal everyday life. And I'm not also like trying to find food for an entire community and rebuilding walls and killing walkers. So.
Wait, and she didn't even tie up her hair while she was doing all of that. I was like, Rosita, tie your hair up or something. But yeah, now that I remember, like now that I think about it, her eyebrows, yeah. I'll end up adding a screen cap during my written recap of this. I'll find a scene in in episode, and I'll
literally
put the
any scene from this
Rosita's
season.
eyebrows. Yeah,
any scene from this season, any picture of Rosita from this season is just like, how, lady.
Zombie beauticians. Who knows? Who knows? Community beauticians.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they still need to work too. I don't know. That seems weird.
We finally got to know about the gloved hand that they showed in the trailer. Remember how we were wondering who that was?
Who was it again? Because I forgot that. I saw that you mentioned that, and I was like, I don't even remember who that was.
The woman from Maggie's group, Agatha. She
okay.
She was the one wearing the glove. But they ended up adding that scene in the trailer to create hype.
Of course.
Because at first I was like, was it Jerry? Was it Daryl? No, it was some woman called Agatha we don't care about.
Of course it was. Like, they've gotten to the point now where we care about so few of these characters that they kill a couple more off, and it's like, why even bother watching this show? Like, we know Ezekiel's probably gonna die soon, Commonwealth health care or not. We'll get into that again. We'll get into that also later. But like, he has cancer. Like, no matter what care anybody can give him, it's not going to be, like, he's got a giant tumor on the side of his neck. I don't know, like, whatever. Maybe they'll remove it.
And I think it continues growing or something. Maybe they'll ask, Yumiko's brother to operate on him or something, because apparently he is a throat surgeon. So let's see what happens.
Oh, I guess I missed that part. Well, shit. I missed that entirely. Wow.
Yeah, he's a throat surgeon.
Yeah,
working at the bakery.
I knew he was a surgeon, but I guess I missed that he was specifically a throat surgeon. That seems like a really weird thing for them to highlight. Like, he's not just a surgeon; he's a throat surgeon.
Throat surgeon. Ezekiel, wink, wink. Yeah.
As I'm blinking with both my eyes, wink, wink. Lordy.
Episode number 4, rendition. Like, it was a bad episode. I didn't care for this episode.
I fucking hated it, honestly. Like, absolutely hated it. Like, it was, and the worst part was I watched it before I think before Dean had like caught up or whatever. So I ended up watching it twice. And just because it was on like it was on like I have the login thing on my like laptop, so I was plugging my laptop into our TV, and like it was so bad. It was so boring. Like, I literally like not I wish I hadn't wasted time watching it once. So what we get to see, I know, because and also like we're supposed to talk about favorite moments. Nothing, literally nothing. Like, the whole thing was a least favorite moment. Like, the episode was stupid. Pope is stupid. The Reapers are stupid. Who cares what happened to Daryl's girlfriend? The end.
Yeah, really. Like, why is she back? Why?
Yeah, well, I guess because it's the only way that Daryl could get in with them, but like it could have been someone
Yeah.
else, maybe. I don't know. Like, I
And
just don't
apparently
know.
she's a mercenary, and this entire Reaper group is like very experienced, very strategic. So I did like the fact that they kind of gave an explanation about why Maggie and the rest were having trouble facing them, because these are ruthless people. Like these are trained military people. So I like that. Also, throwing dog away in the beginning of the episode, I was like, is dog dead or something? But yeah, dog survived.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like I'm still on that if they fuck with dog, I will riot train because like it's one thing to see like horses die when you don't really like know the horse, right? You don't know that
Mm,
horse. It's a stranger horse, okay? Like it's a red shirt horse. But dog shouldn't be getting murdered. Just saying.
mm. Hopefully he won't get
Also,
murdered.
it's a red shirt horse. That be the funniest thing I say tonight? Who knows?
It could be. It will be. I mean, come on, a red shirt horse.
Oh
The
Lord.
Walking Dead, the red shirt horses. I mean, there were a lot of dead horses in these episodes. When Carol and the rest were trying to find horses and everything, there were a lot of dead horses.
Yeah, yeah. Uh yeah.
Also, the fact that
Um
they made the leader of the Reavers a religious crazy person, which we just got in the Fear the Walking Dead. Like, where's the originality? Come on now.
I guess I mean I agree. I agree. I hate it, but I guess like where else do they have to go? Like, you know what I mean? Who else can be the bad guy now? Because they did it in Fear the Walking Dead, although that was a little different. He was less religious and more straight up cult, I think. This guy is leaning more toward the religious, like militaristic religion. Okay. Like the other guy was like cultish religion. This guy is militaristic religion.
I mean, but
So
it
it
was
is
kind of
different.
still
I don't like it either,
similar.
but
Yeah, similar vibe. Like, give me something different. Yeah, it was just bad. I don't care about Pope, and then naming him Pope. I'm like, okay.
absolutely. Like just and I don't know, are the Reapers in the comics later? Are they some of the bad guys in the comics later?
I don't remember, because when the Commonwealth stuff happened, there was no villain except for the Commonwealth people. No
Okay. So
major villain.
they're okay.
Yeah, no major villain. Everything happened inside the Commonwealth with socio-political stuff and all that,
Well,
and
but
and Rick dying. Yeah,
that doesn't make for good TV, let's be real.
yeah. So they were
Like
like, you know what? We're going to bring in the mercenaries for some reason. And these aren't just your usual mercenaries. These are ninja mercenaries who can
ugh.
hide away in a second for some
And
reason.
yeah, I mean, how they've got I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know. I like and again, like this whole episode was just I don't care. Like I don't care. I'm trying to think of something about it that was maybe not horrible, but like it was very like the episode was very character driven and very plot focused,
Hmm.
but they I don't know. I don't know. Like
And in the little segment at the end of the episode, Angela Kang actually explained that they brought back Daryl's girlfriend because that was the original plan for her all along.
oh, sure it was.
And I'm like, oh, okay, if you say so.
I mean, I
Okay.
guess they did just have like that episode about her like last season. So it feels like they wrote her into the show and then I guess maybe to have this storyline because again, like I get why she's part of this, because that's really the best and maybe only way for Daryl to have infiltrated the Reapers without just immediately being murdered.
Hmm.
But I still just, I don't care. I don't care what happened to her. I don't care how she ended up with them. I don't care about anything. Like, I just don't care.
Yeah, it was just a bad episode. Just a bad episode.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
zero more to say about that because I hated it so much. I hated it so
E-
much.
Episode number 5, Out of the Ashes, like a phoenix. So we have favorite moments. I mean, of course, you already know my favorite
Gracie.
moment. Aaron sleeping alongside Gracie, and I was like, oh, so cute, so cute,
We
so
got
cute.
so much Gracie action in these episodes. I was like, Farid has got to be just loving this.
I was like, so cute. And then I also like Edith giving the kids sword lessons. Like, I want to see the kids learning how to defend themselves. Like, they should know how
Mhm.
to use sword, how to use a stick or something, or a stone, anything sharp, a knife. Like, these kids need to learn. Because their situation is different from the Commonwealth situation, where the people are acting as if everything has gone back to normal.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also, apparently, the kid zombie that the other bigger kids were having fun with, that's actually Jeffrey Dean Morgan's son.
Oh, I mean, that's cool,
Yeah.
I guess, good for him. I
You know
so
what?
this
I,
is
I respect I respect the decision that Jeffrey Dean didn't use nepotism or something to get his son a bigger role. He just had it on set for fun, because
Mhm.
nepotism in Hollywood, like,
Oh yeah, that's how
yeah.
yeah.
He just had his son over, put him in zombie makeup just to have fun, and I respected that. Also,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
Tommy wanting to live as a baker, even though he's a surgeon. I was like, you know
yeah.
what, Tommy, good for you, good for you. I mean, realistically, a whole lot of people who ended up getting these all of these degrees and professions, like, given the choice, they would drop all of that in order
Yeah,
to try something else.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not all of them. I have friends who are lawyers who like love the power that comes with it and would, if they had the chance to not give that up, like they wouldn't. I have friends who uh they would probably love to give it up, but they wouldn't be good at anything else. So there's that too. But he appears to be good at his job at baking, making cakes and
Mm-hmm.
frosting them and stuff. It's too bad he destroyed that one, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, wait, so the brother is into baking, the girl is a lawyer, so are both siblings queer?
That I mean, I guess we have no way of knowing yet. Um however, just because he is into baking does not mean he's queer. Like
I
I
mean, it's The
have
Walking Dead. It's The Walking Dead.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
But
don't do
he
subtle over here.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But I do have
He's into
plenty
baking.
of
He's queer.
I do have plenty of straight guy friends who are super into baking, including my ex. Like, so uh but yeah, I mean, I didn't like hate this episode. I did uh the favorite moments was hard. I don't know that I had like really like a favorite moment from this episode. I did like getting into the Commonwealth finally. I'm torn again between whether I like this storyline or not because of other reasons, but like it is like certifiably creepy. And
Hmm.
uh although I will say, like, I guess that this would sort of go into gripes and other what the fuck moments, but it just sort of falls into this subject. When they went to the ice cream truck, it bugged me because they got ice cream with actual like scoops of ice cream and like
Hmm.
homemade ice cream, which is what they would be able to make as long as they had the proper salt for it and cream and everything from cows. Homemade ice cream, it doesn't scoop like that. That is a processed ice cream thing. And also they had sprinkles or jimmies or whatever the fuck people call them. They're that's one of those things in the US where like I call them sprinkles, but people from the Midwest I think call them jimmies. But like that's not something that I suppose that's something they might have been able to like salvage from stores and like keep, but like they must. All I can think is either they're real dumb and they think that we all just don't. They think that nobody's going to be like, wait a minute, how do they got perfect ice cream like that scoops the way like processed ice cream does? How do they have sprinkles and or jimmies or whatever you call them? Like, so either they think we're stupid and we're not going to question this, or there's like actual factories there that make these sorts of things. And honestly, like, listen, I get you're trying to like make life the way it used to be and all that, but no factory should be wasting time making ice cream.
Ice cream.
Like even in the Commonwealth. Sorry, not sorry. Maybe ice cream. I can deal with ice cream, but sprinkles? There is zero, like, there's no benefit to them other than they give a little crunch to the top of your ice cream. They don't taste like anything. They have no benefits. It's food. You know, like you could probably eat an entire bottle of sprinkles and it wouldn't just make you sick. It would never like fill you up or anything. So I know that's more like an other gripe, what the fuck moment, but like, but yeah, I did like finally getting into the Commonwealth and seeing, you know, a little bit more about what it was about, how they did the job assignments and stuff. Weird that Eugene was put in like a teaching pool because like he's just so awkward and like I guess they just don't have
They need teachers. Yeah, they need teachers.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but Princess being shoved into retail clerk was like, oh, well, that's
maybe also because they didn't want. Maybe because they also didn't want to place them in important locations. Like they were like, you know what, Eugene, you go to a school, and Princess, you go to the mall. We don't want them near important
positions. School is a very important location, if you ask me. But I don't know. This is the United States, so probably not. We don't care about our teachers now. Why would we care about them in the future?
Especially during a zombie apocalypse. Yeah. Respect your teachers. Listen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the welcome video on like the old like the high school television that they wheeled in, and it's all like, I don't know, like the connection or the
VCR filter. Yeah.
Yeah.
The VCR filter.
Like, did they actually? What I want to know actually is if they like recorded that and put it on a VHS tape, or if they just this was just a dumb effect that they did. Because like I want to see if they actually, that's a prop I would love to have, is the Commonwealth working VHS tape, if it exists. Just saying.
Oh yeah, they should sell it as merch or something. But yeah, they I guess they put a filter on it.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Probably. It's a Blu-ray. It's in 4. It's really in 4K.
It's actually in 4K.
Oh shit. So yeah, I didn't hate this episode. So
yeah, I liked it. Connie's alive. Duh. We already knew that from the trailer. And yeah, as far as the least favorite moment is concerned, yeah, overall, I really liked this episode. My least favorite moment was the fact that they had no lookout while everyone was sleeping. I was like, how? How is that possible? You guys know that the wall is damaged. But yeah, that happened.
For me, it was just the whispers stuff. I know that's not a single moment, but like, can we just stop with them already? Like I know that they're trying to make it into some sort of like character thing with Aaron or whatever, but like
Aaron doesn't need it. Aaron doesn't need that.
No, and
we know who he is as a character. He doesn't need that. And also, Lydia could have gotten him killed.
Yeah, and again, just stop with the whispers already. So what if they still exist? There's like 3 of them left, maybe. I mean, there might be more, but like the whole point of the whispers was that they needed a leader. Okay, like they might be able to live, you know, the lifestyle that they lived without a leader like Alpha, but they would never go like around, you know, down in communities and stuff.
Yeah, they aren't
exactly.
Yeah,
like so just. There was just no need to have this whole like storyline where they're hiding in Hilltop and Aaron and all them capture them and they get tortured. It's just it was
And then
forced
they
and dumb.
and then they had the whisperer tell them that Connie is still alive. I'm like, you couldn't think of any way else for them to find out that Connie is alive. You had to use the whisperer.
I guess I will give them that, like, but like they could have brought the one whisperer back to tell them that and not have had like him, hiding his other, like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many other ways they could have gone about even using a whisperer to bring them that news without it being this whole thing. Just end it with the whispers already. But honestly, that's what The Walking Dead does, man. They fucking drag this shit out. It's like when
Negan is still alive.
Negan, well, not just Negan being alive, but like, God, the thing with the Saviors, that was like 2 fucking seasons, 3 seasons. It was so long. And then, what was it? The cannibals in, end of in season 4, was season 4, right after they, or season 5, right after the prison got ruined, or the governor was another one.
The governor, yeah.
And then they went to the cannibals and then they like destroyed their place, and which I can't remember what it was called. They destroyed their place, and then the son like still lived, and they caught what's his name, and he'd been bitten, and they like were eating his leg. Sasha's boyfriend. You know what I'm talking about?
I remember. Yeah,
I don't
they were
remember
eating
his
his
name.
leg.
Yeah, like
at the fire, sitting around the fireplace, eating his leg.
Yeah, like he'd already been bitten. He was already gonna die. Like it just, Walking Dead, they just don't know how to let their villains go. Like,
let them die.
I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. That's The Walking Dead to all their villains.
And Jack is already a zombie in the water, and Rose is still holding on.
Like I need that graphic. Like just The Walking Dead, like the title, like The Walking Dead on the Titanic door, and like all the villains holding on to the door. Lordy.
Coming to your WTF moments, I mean, you really don't like children, huh?
Listen, okay, so this was where I said I messed up earlier. I didn't, the stuff that happened with the kids in the first episode, Hunters, that was where I messed up. That was fine. The stuff that happened in that episode was totally fine. With this one, it was more, it wasn't like I like Judith and Gracie and AJ and Herschel. Like they're all cool. They're cool kids, right? But like then we got to bring in the asshole kids again. That's what I don't like. I don't like all the rest of these kids. Like we don't need another kids or assholes storyline. We don't. Like, where did these kids even come from? How are you assholes already? How have you lived the life that you have lived? Because they're like older than Judith. How have you lived this life and seen all this shit? And you are an asshole to this little girl who is a badass with a sword. Fuck you. I hate kids.
That was a moment that I got confused. I was like, wait, do these kids not know how awesome Judith is? Have they not seen Judith kill zombies?
But like, even if they haven't, like,
they must have heard stories.
Even if they've not heard a story, they have lived shitty ass lives. And also, wait, weren't all of the kids with the blacksmith guy? Like, a whole ton of kids were with that blacksmith guy when he died. When after Hilltop was destroyed. So, like, maybe these are Alexandria kids. Or like a combination Alexandria Kingdom kids. I don't know. But regardless, even if they don't know Judith, even if they don't know her story, they have been through some shit. And they should know better than to be poking walkers through a falling apart fence. Like, do these kids have zero self-preservation? Like, that's what pissed me off about the kids in this show. Like, stop giving us kids or asshole storylines. Haven't we had enough of this by now? Go look at the flowers, all of you. not Judith, Gracie, Herschel, or AJ.
And AJ. Yeah. The rest of the kids,
I guess
look at the flowers.
Or Community Baby. Community Baby can stick around a little while longer because he's just a baby. But the rest of them can fuck off. Oh wait, and Jerry's kids. And I can't remember
Rosita's child. Come on now. Rosita also has a kid.
What's her baby's name? She's got a weird name.
I don't remember.
It's like it's like I know it's not princess, but it's a
But
weird
it's
name.
princess, but it's a very little baby right now. Yeah.
I'm looking it up because this is bothering me that I can't remember. No, I don't. Coco. Coco. Her baby's name is Coco. So fine. Coco and Adam are good. They're good. They're just babies. They'll grow. That's the thing though. They need to grow up with the good kids and not
Mhm.
these, I don't know, like psychotic children who are poking walkers through the fence. Like, but also like Rosita is kind of part of the family with Judith and everything. So like I imagine, and I don't know. I don't know if Alden is though. I don't know. I guess we'll see if we ever. I guess actually we won't see unless they do another time skip. Then Coco and Adam are always going to be babies. I had totally forgotten that Coco even existed, honestly. Does Rosita really have
Coco and the the adventures of Coco and the community baby? Oh, CCCCC.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
CCB,
My
Adventures of
niece's
CCB.
nickname is actually Cece, so that's funny.
Yeah, the Adventures of CCB, Coco and
Yeah.
community baby.
Oh, community baby.
Oh. Episode number 6, On the Inside. I mean, I like this episode because it focused on particular characters. I liked it. Yeah, it wasn't a bad episode. It gave us something different.
There were things about it I didn't love, but
of course, yeah,
like, and I'll get into that in a minute. But as a whole, I really, really liked this episode. The Connie Virgil stuff was so creepy. The house, the animalistic people, it was so like horror movie-esque. And like if that had been the entire episode with just some scenes of like Kelly, Rosita, Carol, and Magda searching for Connie, so that it would like, make sense that they saved her and Virgil in the end.
Yeah.
I would have said this is probably, and actually I think I still would say this is probably the best episode of this show in like seasons. And they did a real, and now I have questions, of course, about how the fuck these people survived, even on, I know what they were eating, they showed us, but like it was good. It was good. And adding to just the creepiness of the house, and how like whenever Connie was the focal point, everything was silent. This was a very, very well done episode.
This episode made me feel things. Like it made me feel anxious. And this episode reminded me, remember back in episode number 2, season number 2, the premiere of season number 2, when everyone was trying to hide under those cars?
Mm-hmm.
A herd was coming. Like I remember that I was very anxious during that moment. And I felt that kind of anxiousness in this episode. I was worried. This episode actually made me feel something. And also, was it only me, or did you also think that the house that Virgil and Connie were in was the house that Maggie was talking about? At first, I was like, was Maggie talking about this house? This creepy house? Are those people still alive in there? But no, it was a different house.
No, that was the first thing that came to mind when Connie was like, not alone. But then I was like, no, Maggie said she killed all of those people. Now, granted, there might have been other people involved who weren't in the house, but it was a similar story, and that Virgil and Connie were lured there for sure.
And they were a family. The people in the house were a family. There were pictures of them there. So I was like, is this the house that Maggie was talking about? It would have made sense if they went that route. But
it would have made sense if we hadn't already heard that Maggie like killed literally everyone in the house. But yeah, I mean that house, man, like, oh my gosh, like when Connie first saw the eye, it was like you'd already seen her kind of like seeing things. So I was like, well, maybe it's just a walker, like there's like a walker that got, this is an old ass house, like for all we know, like Underground Railroad house, because this is still, they're still in Virginia. So this is like northern part of the South, but there were Underground Railroad houses, obviously, like even farther north than that. So I was thinking like it's something like that where, somebody died in the passages or whatever, maybe I did think she actually did see something, but wow, like the way the way they went with it wasn't what I expected. And it was, like you said, I mean, I was like on the edge of my seat, anxious. Like I don't remember the last time this show made me feel that. Um,
Mhm.
I didn't really think Connie would die. I was worried about
Yeah.
Virgil,
Mhm.
even before
Mhm.
he, even before he like was like leave me, even before he, which was even before he got injured, which he was like stabbed in the back like how many times? Like, so is he
At
gonna
least
live?
three times. At least three times. Yeah.
It was, I think it was at least, it might have been 4 or 5,
Yeah.
but it was a lot. And so like I'm assuming he's gonna live, I guess we'll find out eventually. But like
Probably. Yeah. I mean, of course, they're going to take him back to the base. He'll live.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I really, the stuff with Kelly kind of like running off on her own to go search for Connie, I was like, oh my God, Kelly, like
Go
you couldn't have
away.
waited like
Go
five
away, Kelly.
minutes, like waited like 5 minutes. But yeah, like, and I still like, even with my caveat of like, if they didn't have the Commonwealth stuff, this still like, I think that they should have, I think they should have forgone the Commonwealth stuff in this episode. I think that it really could have been a perfectly
They
filled
had the
out
Commonwealth
episode.
stuff in this episode.
I think so, yeah.
Didn't they have the Reaper stuff in this episode?
No. Hold on. Now I'm wondering, shoot, am I misconstruing other episodes? No, Reaper stuff is going to be next. So the preview for the next episode was the one that that showed like Reaper stuff, I thought. Hold on, I'm
Let me
looking it up
see.
because now I'm like,
Yeah, I'm confused.
there was so hold on, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, the Reaper stuff when they went to Maggie's hideout.
Oh, that was in this episode. Was there any
That was in this
Commonwealth stuff in this
episode.
episode then?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking of the next episode. Sorry, I should have watched
Mm.
ahead. Listen, it was
Yeah,
available. What can I
they're
say?
really messing up with my schedule with the early releases. Like I'm getting
Oh, well,
confused.
yeah, same. Well, regardless, yeah. Then the Maggie Reaper stuff did not need to be in this episode. It was stupid. But
Yeah,
also,
it
I
did.
just
Yeah,
hate that
it
storyline
had no
so much.
reason. Yeah, it had no reason to exist in this episode. They should have focused on Connie and Kelly and keep it at that. But yeah, there
Yeah,
was this
okay. So
entire
that's
thing with the Reapers. I don't like it.
yeah, and it's like, so Daryl, so that guy that the Reapers had captured, Frost,
Frost.
he knew Daryl, right? Like he
Mm-hmm.
knew who Daryl was, so he was pretending not to know, and Daryl like cut off his finger. Like,
Yeah, but he also didn't listen to Daryl because Daryl was actually giving him a signal to at least tell them the name of the neighborhood so that he
yeah.
wouldn't have to cut off his finger. But the guy didn't listen to him, so Daryl was like, you know what? I have to cut your finger, dude. And
Okay,
then he
yeah,
gave the
then
neighborhood, and yeah, and he
yeah, then
died.
then
Like he's
I
dead now.
retract my words. I had confused this with what was happening in the next episode, where I actually kind of sort of cared about stuff that was going on in the Commonwealth a little bit. But yeah, I retract what I said. The Reaper stuff sucked. It always sucks. And they like, if otherwise this episode was great. Because
I
also,
think
like,
that
the
they're
Reaper stuff was just them standing around arguing with each other.
and the fact I really think that they're working towards the girlfriend betraying the group. She's
Of
going to
course they
side with
are.
Daryl. Yeah.
Like, of course they are. Like,
Mhm.
otherwise, why bother with her? I mean, I still think she's being a huge bitch right now, but like, yeah, I mean, well, real quick though, least favorite moment, and this is like, I'm just ignoring all the Reaper stuff because I had messed up which was part of which, because I know the next episode is really like Reaper heavy. What the fuck happened with the paint horse, the black and white horse that Kelly had? So like, Kelly found the camp, the abandoned camp with the dead like bay horse, brown horse, chestnut horse. I'm not sure it was bay or chestnut, whatever. It doesn't matter. It was brown. It was a brown horse. Which, first of all, why was the horse only like kind of like partially eaten? I feel like at this point, if walkers are going to attack a horse, it's not going to be just bones, but it was like a hole in its neck and that was it. Please, that horse would have been way more like eaten. But like when they left that camp area, someone I didn't quite see who had the reins in their hand and was leading the horse away. But then later in the episode, we see the four of them enter the field that Connie and Virgil were in earlier. And then, of course, then they end up right outside the house and save Connie and Virgil. And the horse is not there. Where the fuck did the horse go? Like they didn't. Can't tell me
the horse never existed, Tara. The horse never existed.
It's the Mandela effect again. There was never actually a horse. Kelly just thought she was riding. Oh my God, like for real though.
All of them. Just imagine that all of them are riding on those stick horses. Like there's the stick and the face of a horse. They're like,
oh, I know what stick horses are. We actually have stick horse jousting at Ice and FireCon, where people have to hold a stick horse between their legs and joust with pool noodles. So, like, yes, like. That's what the
everyone is just riding actually. That.
They're like, we can't afford horses and we can't afford to train you guys to ride horses. So you actually are just riding stick horses from now on. Sorry. But seriously, where did the horse go? It was just gone. It was just gone. They led it away from that camp. And you can't tell me they're not. Did they bring the horse all the way back to Alexandria and then go back out? Is that what we're supposed to believe? Is there like some cutscene that was removed from the episode in favor of Reaper bullshit? Like, where's the horse, Walking Dead? Where's the horse?
Where's the horse?
Hashtag where is the horse? Not buttons.
But yeah, the Connie portions, awesome, so well done. So good. Reaper stuff, no, we don't care. We do not care. Yeah.
I mean, I know that there has to be, in their minds, there has to be this other big bad. And from what you said earlier, because I stopped reading the comics when Andrea died. Like, sorry, not sorry. Like, I was like, she was like the last character other than Rick that I cared about. And I was just like, nah, she's gone. And I kind of don't really care what happens even to Rick from now on. So I stopped reading them and I don't know what happens after that, but like, I get that if it was just the Commonwealth being the bad guys, that the socio-political stuff isn't as intriguing for a TV show. I understand that totally. But it's not original. They feel like the saviors combined with like, I don't know, like the saviors combined with the governor maybe, but like more militaristic. It's just, it's not original. It's not original. I don't care. And we all know that in the end, they're not going to win, like maybe some of the characters will die, but the Reapers aren't going to win the day. Especially not with Daryl in their midst, even though he's doing a terrible job of attempting to infiltrate them. Like, yeah. He's trying. So Daryl, you're trying so hard, but it's not great.
Yeah, other WTF moments, which, I mean, it was, just the Reapers have to go. I just hope they end up killing them in a few episodes and they don't drag them all the way to the end of season number 11. Like, don't. Focus on the Commonwealth stuff. Just focus on the Commonwealth stuff.
Well, because that's the other thing, like, if we're only getting 16 episodes in this season, how long can they possibly drag out both of these storylines? You know what I mean? Like where both of them are, as of right now, I think we're supposed to believe that the Commonwealth, they aren't bad guys necessarily. They're just very protective of what they have created, which is understandable. Obviously, there are some bad apples within the Commonwealth, but I just feel like if we're only getting 16 episodes this season, which there's no clarification on that really, but that's what we have to assume at this point. I just don't understand how they could drag the Reaper stuff out past mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe like there could be some little like a little bit of fallout at the beginning of the second half of the season from the Reaper stuff, but I I just don't know how I just don't know if they can drag it out longer than that.
They'll
I
find a
don't.
way. They'll find a way. Let's see what
Well,
happens.
yeah. I guess they will.
I mean, as
Because
far as theories are concerned, again, I think I've already shared my theory that Yumiko's brother is probably going to operate on Ezekiel.
which I like I said, I totally missed the whole idea that or the whole fact that he was specifically a throat surgeon, which okay,
Specifically, yeah.
very specifically a throat surgeon. So yeah, I'm you've got to be right there. Even though he's like, I'm a baker now. Um,
Why the wow?
he's a baker now.
I'm a
I don't know. I don't know. That's like because he's like throwing up his hands being a baker, not wanting to like be a surgeon. I don't know yet.
Yeah, recommendations. Wrap this up. Yeah, recommendations. I think my recommendation would be a sci-fi supernatural show called Surreal Estate, starring Tim Rozon from Winona Earp
And
and
Schitt's
Sarah
Creek.
Levy. Yeah, Sarah Levy from Schitt's Creek, and it's basically about a real estate agency trying to sell haunted houses. So they go into the haunted house, they take care of the ghost or whatever's trapped in there, and then they sell it off, which is kind of a very interesting premise. And I'm like, why the heck did no one else ever thought about this? Like, haunted house also need to be sold. Like, I haven't seen anything like this before, and it has a very diverse cast with two of the main characters being queer, and season one just ended. It has 10 episodes. It's totally bingeable, so watch it because I really need this show to come back for a season number two. But let's see what happens. And Tim Rozon is very different in this season, in this
Oh, I mean
show compared to his Winona Earp
he's so
show.
different
Like,
in
he's
Schitt's
all clean
Creek.
shaven. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's all clean shaven. He wears suits, and I'm like, okay.
Although I'm with Alexis from Schitt's Creek. Like when he shaved his beard, I was like, "Whoa!"
Right?
Like,
where's the beard?
He's got very. This portion of his face is very interesting, and he looks like 8,000 times more attractive with a beard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that he's bad looking, but
no, of course
like
not.
with a
Of course
beard,
not.
like he takes his good looking status like up here because like yeah, the lower portion of his face, like his lips are like his mouth is like this tiny for some reason.
Yeah, recommendations. I haven't been watching a lot of new stuff. I did watch Squid Game, which is I believe,
Yeah, Netflix
Korean
Korean. It's a Korean show.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Korean show on Netflix.
Which is very, very, very dark and depressing. And
It kind of reminded me of Saw, the promo material, the Saw
yeah,
franchise, but I haven't
yeah,
watched it yet.
a little bit. It's good. In a very like creepy, makes you hate humanity way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think like what else I've watched that's like new lately, but I don't think there's been much because there also hasn't been much.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch Nine Perfect Strangers on Netflix or
Nah.
not Netflix, Hulu. I was very intrigued by it, and then it had the most like underwhelming ending ever. I was like, really? Like that's how this
I didn't even
ends?
try. Yeah, I didn't even try to watch it. I was like, I don't have time for this. I have a feeling that it's not going to be good. So I'll wait for all of the episodes.
Good. It was really good. Well, it's done now. It's done now. It was really
Yeah,
good for the
I
first
was waiting for it to get done so that
yeah.
I could see whether or not I should watch it.
It's very good for the first like 6 or 7 episodes, and then just the end is very underwhelming. Like I'm not saying it's a bad show as a whole, but it like builds up and builds up, and you think something big is going to happen, and then they're like, haha, fake out. And it's just like It ends in a
Ah.
very, very like predictable manner. And this is like the people I know who have read the book, because apparently it's a book, said that the end is not great too. Um,
Mm.
but the people I know who've read the book also tend to read a lot more like mainstream stuff than I really do. So I don't know if it's also like even though they're saying the end is not as good as the book, like I'm not really sure that this ever would have been something I would have liked anyway. I was intrigued a little bit. And like I said, it was there. It was good for the first like 6, 7 episodes, and then it was just after that.
I mean, Nicole Kidman is making money on the small screen, and I'm like, good for you, Nicole. Good for you.
Here's a weird aside, though. There's a scene in it's either episode 7 or 8. I think it's episode 7, and she has her hair pulled back, and she's like sitting out by herself, and it has a side shot of her head for like a minute and a half, and not making fun or anything, but she has some weird ass ears. Like it was like I was like it was like focused on her the side of her head for so long that the fact that her earlobes are like an inch and a half long just really like just I was like I could not stop looking at it. Like such a beautiful woman and like whatever, but I was just like, wow, she has really weird ears, and they just kept like getting closer and closer to her ears, and I was like, can you just not show? I'm surprised she allowed this. It's sort of like Kristen Stewart, also weird ears. Or maybe I have an ear thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like nine as a whole, the show is not bad. But I will say, like watching like the first like the feelings that you get and everything from the first like 7 episodes, it's not. It just kind of gets. It just ends in like this underwhelming sort of okay, whatever manner. But yeah.
Any activities and bonds, you guys coming up,
No.
wanting to attend?
No, I mean, at this point, like it's the end of the year, and even if COVID wasn't still kind of keeping things on the down low, Dragon Con was always going to be my last event for this year. So there is
You aren't
I
going
think
to attend the mini SDCC, the mini Comic Con thing happening?
it's over Thanksgiving weekend, and not to be all like family person, but this is my first uh actual like major holiday with
Mm-hmm.
Dean and the kids. So because of our wedding thing in December, like I'm not going to be able to go back to South Carolina for Thanksgiving or Christmas. It's just too expensive. And so I'm kind of like, I like, could I drive down there for like a night? Probably, but I haven't really seen the point, like Angel, the admin of the
Yes,
Geekiary,
you're
is going
going.
to be in Anaheim for a few days before she goes down to SDCC. So I'm going to see her in Anaheim because that's like 45 minutes away from me. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I get to see her and also not have to deal with SDCC. But not, yeah, it's not about not any bad thing, not that I don't feel safe or whatever. It's just like it's a holiday weekend and I kind of want to spend it with this family that I sort of have now. So yeah, I mean, I think the next thing I might go to, there's that official Game of Thrones convention being run by Creation Entertainment, and it's
Mm-hmm.
in Vegas is toward the end of February, middle end of February. So I'm probably going to go to that just because it's Vegas and it's like 3 hours away and I have a place to stay. But yeah, other than that, like I'm in that realm where I'm like over conventions too. So maybe SDCC, like real full SDCC next year, I'll go down for a couple days, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wrapping it up. Should I or can you wrap it up?
I can do it. All right. So I'm Tara, along with Farid. We're missing Becca tonight, unfortunately, but thank you for joining us. while we bitched about stuff and things with the Bitching Dead. Please follow the Bitching Dead and the Geekiary on Twitter. Remember, we are a free webcast run off of donations from viewers like you. So thank you for contributing and helping our host site, the Geekiary. Bye.
And we'll see you guys when we'll see you.
Oh yeah, we don't even know anymore. Our schedule is all over the place.
Yeah, bye.